Hi everybody, Kirk here with a little haul from Green Girl Studios. It's in this little packet here, and don't let it fool you, there's quite a few things in here. But if you'd like to see what's in this little bag, then just keep on watching. Alright, so this package took a hot minute to get. I ordered it months ago, but I understand that they had some hurricane issues to deal with, so of course I'm glad they're back up and running. So on the website it does say that there's a processing time, so if that is something you cannot handle, then maybe go and buy it from some places that already have their stuff in stock. But I ordered this directly from their website, and essentially I just bought kind of one of everything that I liked there. I'm always trying to find small businesses to support because I also have one of my own. So we'll just look at all this. Look at these cuties. So we'll just go through these one by one. It did not come with the packing slip. It was very eco-friendly. But let's go ahead and zoom in. And here's our geode. And this is like a connector. There's so many different ways that you could connect this. You could do it like this if you wanted to. You could do it like this, have it hang down, have something hang down from the bottom. But it is a two-sided pendant and it is a geode. Yeah, so I bought a lot of these before Halloween even happened. And so I had Halloween on the brain. So there's a couple skulls, I think, in here. But these are just going to be cute little pieces that I can use for next year. So this is a little skeleton, and this is the back. So it's a two-sided. And there's a hole where you can string up top and bottom, as well as on the sides here. We've got a little cloud kind of connector here. Very beautiful. I'm loving the rustic feel to these. This is like an eye with two connectors on the side, as well as places to have dangles. I am in love with this little piggy. This reminds me of, I don't know if you guys, I recently found out that this was weird. We had to read growing up this book called A Day No Pig Would Die. And to be like a 10-year-old, 10-year-old reading this book, it was the most sad thing I have like ever. It still sticks to me to this day, but apparently that's not like part of the curriculum for the rest of the US. All right, so here's another little pendant here with lots of connectors on it, and this one is like a kind of blank on the back there, but I like how it has a little GGS on there. That's really cool. This one has like little eyes on it, and it's a teardrop shape with a pretty large hole. So good enough for leather. It says, "I shut my eyes in order to see." I like that. We have a Mjolnir, and this has a hole at the top, at the bottom of the handle. And here is the hammer itself. We have a hand, and it has a heart with a lock on the inside. And I thought, just having this as a necklace, it just looks, it looks really cool this way, but then that it is holding a heart behind a lock. I got this one to make a necklace for myself because it's 3 peas in a pod, and so that's me, my husband, and my son. And I just thought how cute that was. There's a little star and moon on there as well. This one, little mandrake. So this is really, really cool. And again, there's a hole at the top to where you can just string it. This one is a little acorn, and I always buy things with acorn motifs because of where I grew up. There was a lot of acorns. And there's a little bug on the back side. This is a nice little key. I got a few keys, but I really just liked these. This one has like a little, what looks like a butterfly up top, and this one just has like a little rustic design. This one is a spaceship, it looks like, and so obviously pretty cool, on brand for me. I love her and all the detail. We have another Halloween motif here, and it's a bat. And so this is the bail for it. Here's a little teeny leaf. It looks like an oak leaf, from what I can remember. Maybe not. Here's a cute little toad, and this is the bail. So you see his little feet. I just like these because they're like, you know, you're not really seeing toad right up, but like it's some that like special where you know, like it's just for you kind of thing. That's what I like about these pieces. Alright, I got another bat. Another oak leaf, another oak, or just a leaf. I'm not going to call it oak leaf because I may be wrong about that. I got a few of those. Here's again another one of those skeletons. And oh my goodness, another rocket ship. I love this one so much. It's a little snail. And I think that's going to make such a cute addition to a jewelry piece. I like this one here. It's like a little geometric cutout. Really good for connecting things. We've got a giant seahorse here. She's big. And so you can actually dangle stuff from the tail as well as hang it from the top with the head. And she's just so precious and cute. I love it. I love like the already like rustic vibe. I got two of those hand and hearts. I just loved them so much. Here's a 2 peas in a pod. And so I think I'll make something with this and put it on my Etsy shop. We got a little goldfish here. He's so cute with a big old fat belly. He's just really cute. I think this one is a puffer. So I did get a puffer here. And then what looks to be more like a trout, which is also like very near and dear to my heart. Another acorn, of course. We got a mushroom, and I love the detail on the underside of the mushroom. So yes, you can see from far away that it is a mushroom. But yeah, it's got that detailing on the underside of the cap. Lastly, I got this little branch connector. And so I love this one so much. I think it's so pretty. So I thought I'd play around with this. This might not turn out, and I might be scrapping the whole thing, but if you're seeing it, then hey, it probably turned out. So what I'm gonna do is try to make a necklace, and I want this to face a certain way. So I'm going to use, it might be too big of a jump ring. Might use one of these smaller guys. That looks to be a 4mm jump ring. And I didn't want to do too much. I have a couple things here that I picked up from Bead Box Bargains. And as you can see on the mat, I've got some snowflake jasper and some really light blue with a silvery wash crystal with kind of like a taupe coloring to it. And this might be enough for me in terms of complexity, but I also have my whole organizer of leaf beads, which I thought would be really fun if I wanted to add some color. But I think because this is an artisan piece, I kind of just like want to keep it simple. I also have some big hole spacers here, and they're kind of in that same color tone. I will have to put a coating on these though if I do use them. So let's go ahead and get into these snowflake jaspers, and these are a 10mm. But what we're gonna do, I've already glued my ends, you know how we do with the prep, right? And let's go ahead and make some knots. Actually, we'll probably flank it with 2 beads first. So let's see how these crystal beads look. I don't like them being on the metal, but I understand like sometimes that's just how they're packaged. So let's do a crystal bead on each side to flank. I'm gonna bring it down to the middle here. See if we like that. I like it good enough. And so what I'll do, in order to keep it in place, I'll put a little bead bug on one side. It doesn't have to be, you know, surgical precision or anything like that, because like we're probably not going to use all of this thread. I just want it to be kind of in the middle here. And so we'll just take this and start making our knots. Here are my knotting pliers. I rarely use these suckers because they don't have a spring action to them. So it just seems like it's just like an extra step that I really don't need, when you can just have spring pliers and do it. All right, now we're gonna take the other side. So I just wanna make sure we get this in place before we progress. And this is a really cool toned brown cotton cord. So I'm switching to my round nose fine nib pliers from Bead. I need to pick up the Xeron ones though. So I thought this would be a nice little relaxing video. So we can get our bead bug out of the way. We can get some of these beads out. Let's see if we like the look of the spacer. The holes might actually be too big to use on their own because I don't feel like double knotting these. Yeah, look, it's just swallowing those. So maybe we don't even need to use this. I would like to have a metallic element though. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll use some seed beads as spacers. Maybe some, like if I have some silver ones. I got that snowflake jasper on there. Right. And honestly, you could use either side of this pendant. Like both sides are beautiful. It's just if you want to keep one side a secret or not. I like the idea of keeping a little secret. Like something that's just for you when you're wearing it. All right, so we're back to maybe considering, let's try this and see how it looks. So we have a crystal, large hole spacer, a crystal, you know what, I like it. That rarely happens the first go. Usually I have to try 3 or 4 different like combinations, but I do like it. I always finish off my knots with my thumbnail. And so, yeah, I hope everything's been going well for you guys. I know I haven't been on here very much. I am constantly bombarded by my job. I only have 5.5 more years to retirement. So hopefully, the thing is though, like I wanted to kind of set up my business before I retire, which Space Pickle Designs is kind of what I wanted to do after I retire, but it's just really hard to get things going, you know, and grow your business when you are just, I'm talking like when I'm in class, when I'm teaching a class, I work 14 to 15 hours a day, and that's day after day after day, week after week after week. It's been going on for like, right now, like it's coming up on a year of how I've been doing this, and it eats away at you really. Like you kind of lose your whole persona, your real self. So it's really tough. It's really tough. Now the question is now, do I want to change up, like do 3 of these and then another I don't know, because I kind of like I like having the crystal in there. I like it more than I thought I would. So we look at it like that. I think we're just gonna keep it simple, you guys. And so, simple it is. Sometimes simple wins. I like to keep things simple when it's an artisan, there's an artisan element to it. Like, it doesn't require me to be like this amazing, like, let's do all these different things. Let's have a 4-strand on one side, 1 strand on the other, asymmetrical, you know. I think it's really just looking at a piece and like, is this balanced? Are the beads complementing the artisan element? And I think in this case it is. There's just enough metallics throughout that it kind of, like, I don't know, draws your eye to it a little bit. So now we have just like an easy peasy little evening here. I'll zoom in a little bit so we can get some more detailed shots here. But look how cute. You gotta get in the comments down below. Let me know how your work week is and what you're gonna do for Thanksgiving, or I believe it's Indigenous Peoples Day as well. Maybe not, maybe I dreamed that. I think it is. You know, for a lot of us, Thanksgiving is a lot of work because, you know, we gotta cook, but I do love to eat. I'm not huge on American food. I just like more bold flavors, I think. So like there's some American foods that I like, you know, Cajun food, which I guess is kind of American. I like that. There's a lot of flavors in there. Southern food can have a lot of flavors in it sometimes. But in terms of like the staples, like the casseroles and like all of that, it's just like, it's just not my favorite. But my husband loves it, and so sometimes you just do things because you love the person, and that's okay. So he did not make me make a turkey, which is good. I hate turkey, and I don't really eat meat that much, so or I just choose not to eat meat, really. And if I do, it's normally like trash meats, like hot dogs. And I don't know why. It's like, why not pick a regular cut of meat instead of like a highly processed? I just don't like the texture. I don't like, yeah, it's mainly the texture and also like the origin of it. Like, I mentioned A Day No Pig Would Die, that book. If you ever read it, then it's like, okay. So I'll kind of tell you a little bit about the plot, but essentially like this kid, I guess, he gets to keep a pet pig, and then eventually, due to a harsh winter, is then forced to eat his pig. And now looking back on it, having to read that at that age is like kind of wild. But hey, here we are. It definitely stuck with me for the rest of my life, probably till the bitter end. But I remember reading that, and there was like a scene where, and I could be remembering it wrong, because keep in mind this was like 30 years ago, but he's eating this ham or whatever, ham steak or bacon or sausage or whatever they made with the pig, and he's crying while he's eating it because, you know, he knew it was his friend or whatever. Just very appropriate for the region, I guess. Not necessarily something you would probably read as like a kid from Los Angeles or like a big city or something, but hey, you know. So yeah, that's just me. You do you. I don't know. My husband still likes to eat meat. Honestly, I really just like the taste of like vegetables and tofu and all that. I just like it more. Just my palate, I guess. Not necessarily anything else. I think this is coming together swimmingly. And I thought I owed you guys a video on this channel. Haven't been posting too much. Like I said, my work has been insane. But, you know, I gotta try to bring in more balance into my life because it's so one-sided. I did find out I did not get promoted this year. I was a half a point away, which is always kind of like a blow because it's like you were kind of the one that like you did enough to get promoted. They just didn't have enough to give out, I guess. I don't even know if that's an accurate way of looking at it. Basically, when you miss it by a half a point, they call it gray zoned, and so you get a score, and everybody that had the same score as you are in the same bucket. So my bucket had 13 people, so 13 of us across the Space Force had the same score, and they only had 3 stripes to give out, and so I was not in the top 3. So I was in the bottom. How many did I say? I think it was 13. So I was in the bottom 10. So it's a little tough. You pour your blood, sweat, and tears into a job, and you don't really do it to promote, so to speak. But like promotion is the one thing that kind of like, hey, you're on the right track or you're doing the right thing. It kind of like solidifies all that hard work that you do. And to not see the results, you have your leadership, they just shake their head at you, like you didn't make it this year, sorry. It's not their fault, right? Like, and that's life. You don't always get picked. You're not always going to be the first one to get picked on a team. But, it's just tough. But I think I saw this quote that, failures are where character's built. So, use it as a way to develop my character. Because if you can't lose, then you really don't deserve to win. You have to know what it feels like to lose. I learned that when I didn't get picked for volleyball in high school. I was a very shy kid. I went to volleyball tryouts for high school. It was junior high. And I was very shy, and it took a lot out of me to actually get the guts up enough to go and try out. And the coach is looking for a cohesive team. I understand that. I don't think I was I definitely wasn't the greatest volleyball player, but I also definitely wasn't the worst. But you have to think about it in terms of a team dynamic. I was a very shy person. It took me a lot to get out of my shell. So even if I had this great talent, me working with the team, there were others that could do it better than me. And so I remember getting the envelope, looking in, and it said, "You were not selected." And I remember I cried. I think it was in the car ride home. After my mom picked me up, I cried because it took so much out of me to bring myself to do it and get out of my comfort zone to try out for volleyball. And, I couldn't be proud of myself in that moment because all I saw was failure. I didn't see the growth that I did by just trying out. Like, that was growth for me still, but I still looked at it like a failure. So, you know, I'm sure in a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or never, if I, you know, if that's how it goes, maybe I'll have a lesson from it. That's just life. That is just life. But it has made me try to, like, hey, I just need to take some time for myself. Do some things that I want to do. I can still do the service a good job and not have to sacrifice everything. I'm at work so much, my kid says, because he sees my husband a lot more than me. He says, and I know he's 3 and, you know, but he's like, Daddy's my favorite. That's tough. It's really tough to hear. And I don't blame him, because he sees him a lot more than I do, because I'm always at work. But I hope one day I'll get to spend more time with him, you know, in 5 years when I retire. Be me and the little buddy. Maybe he'll forgive me. I'm loving this. This is going to take a lot of work to actually paint the metal coating, but I'm going to do it because I want this one to last. I love Snowflake Jasper. I mean, I like all Jaspers, but Snowflake is really cool. And I love it. So this is looking so super cool. All right, so I'm going to finish up this necklace and then I will show you the finished product. Okay, so here is our necklace, and I think she turned out really, really nice. I'm going to go ahead and coat her in metal coating, so some permalac, so that I can keep some of those lesser metals from tarnishing, and to keep the piece nice for a while. I think this will be one of those regular pieces in my rotation. So if you made it to the end here, thanks for hanging out there with me. And I think after, you know, the episode that we just filmed here, I think I'm going to call it bead therapy, because beads can oftentimes make you feel a lot better, at least for me. And I know that talking out some of the things that I've been going through and beading at the same time has really helped me out. So thanks for coming along with me, and I hope that you are staying safe and well, and let me know how you're doing in the comments. Just please do a quick check-in with me. I love to hear from you. So I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.